what gets me up in the morning.
Construction's really exciting to me because I can literally point to buildings and say that I was part of that.
Our role is to bring reality to a dream, and that's huge.
What I love about my job is being able to take it from that cocktail napkin and putting the puzzle together.
And at the end of the day, you have a product that you can look back on and say, I was a part of that.
Construction is changing fast.
A construction company that's ready for the future is willing to evolve.
The sooner we can embrace change, I think the better off we all will be.
The most successful construction companies will be willing to embrace change, embrace technology, and willing to bring different types of people to the organization that think and act differently.
Everything is built pretty much the same way it has been for the past 100 years. But what has changed is the technology in it and how we can implement that.
Technology is there to support us, but it's not to overwhelm us.
You can have the best technology, you can have the best solution, but you can't ever take people completely out of the equation, nor should you.
The people. We have some of the best problem solvers to really help us towards the future.
I am a gay woman in construction, and I think my proudest moment is moving a company that's 130 plus years old into a space of true equity and inclusion.
Well, I think we're spending more time now listening instead of just talking, and that's allowed us to actually move a lot quicker than we were in the past.
The one thing that really drives me is that there is hope.
We all need to be honest with ourselves. We always need to look for where can we become better builders.
Construction is one of those industries where, yes, we will make mistakes, but we will grow from them. And I think that's ultimately what life is all about.
Please welcome Senior Vice President and General Manager of Autodesk Construction Solutions, Jim Lynch.
Wow. Welcome, everybody, to the Autodesk Construction Keynote. I know you've heard it 100 times this week. Here's 101. It is so great to be back together in person with so many of you. It really is. Absolutely. And in fact, this is the most construction attendees we've ever had at Autodesk University. So welcome. I love that opening video, and watching that video, more than anything else, I hear how proud all of you are about the jobs that you do. And I hear it every time I visit a job site or spend time with the project team. The desire to build better propels you and gets you to embrace the constant change that the industry is going through, given the transformation we're all seeing. It's pushing you to evolve, to think and act differently, but it isn't easy. We know it's not easy. Your supply chain is chaotic. You can't find the labor you need. Your projects are becoming increasingly complex. Yet despite these challenges, you're getting the work done. You're using new and innovative techniques to build bigger, to build better, and to build faster. Use of new tools like artificial intelligence, machine learning, AR, VR, and digital twins. These things have accelerated significantly, largely thanks to your vision of what's possible. Across your teams, workers are eager for new ways to make projects more efficient and to get the job done on time and on budget. And we know your customers are asking you for sustainable materials, a lower carbon footprint, and a building that has the future in mind. And we know that today you have more choice than ever before when it comes to a technology partner. And I'm really proud to say that you're choosing Autodesk. Household names like Amazon are embracing Autodesk Construction Cloud. Their fulfillment centers and AWS data center teams use the technology to improve collaboration, to streamline decision-making throughout the entire construction lifecycle. Specialty contractors like Gaylor Electric, an innovative US-based electrical contractor, they're choosing Autodesk Build to standardize project management and to sync information across the entire lifecycle and across all teams. The result? It's greater efficiency and enhanced resiliency in the face of unexpected events. Around the world, the construction industry is seeing the power of Autodesk Construction Cloud. This year, we've watched as you've increased nearly 4 times the number of teams using the tools, and in fact, doubled the number of collaborators you have on each project. Weekly bid invites in Building Connected grew roughly 50% in the last year. You've doubled the number of actions taken in our Assemble tool. And check this out. Type Auto Specs was used on projects totaling more than $30 billion in value this past year. And we're only making these tools stronger. We've heard your feedback and added more than 300 enhancements this past year, like cost performance tracking and schedule version compare in Autodesk Build, improved symbol detection in Autodesk Takeoff, CRM integration in Building Connected, and custom dashboards in Autodesk Construction Cloud. We also added powerful cloud-based estimating with ProEst, and we integrated that technology with Autodesk Build in just 5 months. We're focused on connecting your teams across all phases of construction, adding even more customizations and integrations into Autodesk Construction Cloud. Earlier this year, I was at a meeting with the CIO from a premier GC firm. We were discussing how they're using technology when she mentioned that what she really needs is a technology partner who can help them plan for the future. Now, what she's asking for isn't unique. Regardless of size, industry, geography, you're all thinking about the future. You're thinking about how to be more efficient, more sustainable, and safer today, all while mapping out how your business grows stronger and more resilient tomorrow. Mesa Construction is a firm doing just that. For nearly 100 years, they've been pushing the industry forward and delivering quality and innovation to their customers. Now, recently, I had the opportunity to meet up with Messer at a job site in Cincinnati, Ohio, where they're working to renovate and expand a historic theater. Now, needless to say, this was an incredible visit. I got to see the complexity involved in modernizing a piece of local history and learn how they're using technology to push themselves forward. So tell me about the project. I know it's Playhouse in the Park.
It's a renovation to the existing building, nestled right in the hills of Cincinnati. We use Autodesk Build for a lot of the collaboration. It's really lent itself to subcontractors working off up-to-date prints.
Not a lot of paper in here.
Not a lot of paper.
That's exciting.
Construction has had a manpower issue for at least a decade, if not more. So I think in our industry, we're going to have to adopt more technology to make our work more efficient.
The more we can do on a computer to get the uncertainty out, we've been seeing benefits in that.
I am currently reviewing some drawings, some of the wall and seating layout here in the theater. It'll be a very intimate theater, seats about 400.
So 400 seats. So can we get Bruce Springsteen in here? And can we get me seat? Knowing that, the work that we're doing at Autodesk is really helping to make construction more predictable, safer, and sustainable. And those are all things that, as you know, are front and center and critically important to the industry. Talk to me about your data journey.
We're on the Autodesk Construction Cloud. We can use our data and make predictions. What jobs are higher risk of having an accident? What job could be at risk of having cost issues? So now turning that to predictive is really our journey that I hope to take us down over the next several years.
What's construction going to look like 10 years from now?
Robotics is definitely something that we're going to see, or cobots. The predictive analytics, I think you're going to see a lot more of that. Augmented reality, I'm a firm believer that our hard hat's going to change over the next 10 years, that the visor that's on their hard hat will give them all the information projected on the slab for them. They will not take a set of plans or a tape measure to the field. You're going to speak RFIs or questions instead of handwrite or type. I think you're going to see something and you're going to be able to connect to it. The AI piece, I believe, will be much stronger in 10 years than it is today. That's connected construction.
I love it. The industry has to move in that direction if we're to keep up with global demand.
For Messer, what's important is how do we stay on the cutting edge? And so anything that we can do to continuously improve our processes, be more efficient, be more agile, and adapt to the ever-changing environment, that's where we're focused on. So that's foundational for us to continue to find those ways into the future. The definition I would use for innovation is using tomorrow's tools to solve problems today.
I'm really holding out hope to get those Springsteen tickets, by the way. Now, joking aside, what Andy said really resonates. Using tomorrow's tools to solve problems today. I mean, we all want to stay on the cutting edge of technology, but we can't forget about the work right in front of us while we're paving a path for the future. Messer's vision for connected construction doesn't end with their employees. They want all project stakeholders. They want owners, contractors, their technology partners, all working together from the same set of facts. Because at the heart of every construction project is collaboration. And while technology today is making things easier, it's often forced you to make a trade-off: convenience or control. The convenience of an out-of-box solution that's easy to set up, but creates data silos, or a complicated solution that offers a breadth of capabilities too difficult to configure or even actually use. This isn't a choice you should have to make. Your technology should represent you, your business, your projects, your data, in tools that don't get in the way of doing the work. Technology that puts you in control to define what information is important and who can see it, to configure workflows to match your business processes, to manage how data is shared with project stakeholders. And it needs to do all of this without requiring a PhD in system administration. Genuine adoption only happens when software is actually useful. And I believe the best way to make something useful is to make it simple. This is what we believe it means to be a platform. Convenient tools, tearing down data silos, and driving real collaboration across teams. Powerfully simple construction management. Delivering greater collaboration, convenience, and control is what guides our vision for Autodesk Construction Cloud. And at the core of that vision is data. Your data, from design through operations, has a home in Autodesk Construction Cloud. Whether it's project updates in Autodesk Build or shared files in Autodesk Docs, the data is there when you need it. Data that is rich with insights on how to make more informed decisions, how not to make the same mistake twice, how to strategize your next move. But I know no two businesses are the same, sorry. They're all different. You need different things from your technology. That's why we're giving you control. Control to start with pre-configured workflows and choose when to do things a bit differently. Control to manage who can see information and how it's shared. Taken together, this is how we stand apart. Powerfully simple tools that just work out of the box, but are still deeply configurable. Collaboration built with respect for how you need to balance information sharing and privacy. Intelligent insights that help you anticipate and mitigate problems rather than passively reporting on them. Convenience and control. But our technology is really just the beginning of our partnership. We're committed to helping you uncover new ways of working, to drive change, to pull your future forward. Your success really is our success. And your technology partner shouldn't limit what your options are. It should expand them. Your data, your platform, your future. Thank you.
Please welcome Director of Product Management, BIM for Construction, Richard Parker.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here with you all. I find it hard to believe, but this is my 14th Autodesk University. My first AU was in 2008. I just joined Autodesk to run the Navisworks product development team. CAD had replaced drawing boards. BIM was gaining momentum. And the conversations at AU were all about the possibilities of digital transformation in construction. This year, our conversations have shifted to sharing what we've achieved through digital transformation and to what's possible when data is more accessible and more actionable for every person on the project. Because each person on a job has specific work to do each day. Take a project engineer getting ready for the weekly progress meeting. She's got to gather the latest project updates and review outstanding issues. That's the information she needs. And as that meeting happens, she creates more data along the way. Data that's critical to other team members. For example, updating the status of an HVAC system. Obviously, these types of activities happen hundreds of times by many hundreds of people right throughout the day. And that creates a lot of data. And it can take a lot of work to get it into the right hands at the right time. And you shouldn't need to work harder to make data more valuable. Making data work for you is at the heart of what we're building with Autodesk Construction Cloud. So today, I want to share with you just a few of the things that we've been doing to support this. Making BIM more valuable for everyone on the team. Balancing collaboration with control. And connecting data across the project. Let's start with BIM. Construction teams still have to do a lot of work to get value from models. So we've been working to move BIM beyond the hands of specialists with specialized tools, making actionable information available for each individual to use for whatever their job is that day, like overseeing the installation of that HVAC system. Let's take a look. So many of you are using BIM Collaborate today to automate the process of aggregating, clashing, coordinating, and managing change for your model data sets. Now, those data sets have been getting larger and larger as projects become more complex and design tools become more sophisticated. This volume of data creates headaches for construction teams. Just yesterday, we've made it possible to define just the subset of those models that your team needs to build from. You can now break your projects down by zones, locations, subcontractor packages, however you choose to structure your data. And once you do that, that data set can be saved as a new construction-ready data set to feed other workflows. Now, this is a game changer for BIM on your projects. The challenge of supporting larger and larger models is over. You no longer have to worry about huge files crashing your iPad or expecting the subcontractor who's installing that HVAC unit to hunt around a vast model to find the right location. Now, they can instantly view and work with just that specific zone and ceiling void for the task at hand. And the beauty of BIM is that data isn't locked in models. It has multiple representations. So we've made it easy to jump between models and related sheets so that site teams have the most appropriate information for their job. Plus, we've made it easier to navigate models on mobile devices. And we've gone further, improving access to BIM data both upstream and downstream with 2 features just released. First, we know how valuable scanning real-world conditions and site progress is. So we've added support for reality capture meshes right inside Autodesk Construction Cloud. This means you can now scan the site and bring that data together with the design and fabrication models to validate design intent and as-built accuracy. Woo! Woo! Yeah. And this creates greater precision. Secondly, we've added model-based workflows to assets in Autodesk Build. And this creates greater precision and visibility into tracking and commissioning. By making it easier to extract and map equipment information, teams on the site can monitor the status of assets earlier. Just think about the potential impact to the installation of that HVAC system. Imagine there's a last-minute delay to the air handler component because of supply chain issues. With the asset tracked in Build, the whole team will instantly see this change and can manage the impact. When your site team has more visibility, they can plan and execute more predictably. So we have come a long way with BIM for construction, proving along the way that the value of BIM comes from getting the right information in the right hands at the right time. Now, we can all agree that having access to data is important, but it can also be challenging. On the one hand, you need to contribute data to the projects that you're working on, while at the same time, you want to maintain access to your own data to run your own business. This imbalance creates tension and happens largely because construction software was not built to support how the industry works. You move from one project to another, one set of partners to different ones. You need to balance collaboration with control so that you can take advantage of your data to support your business. This is why we launched Bridge, to help tackle the challenges around collaboration, standardization, and privacy that can come from a single data environment. Bridge makes information sharing across companies simple and frictionless by connecting information across Construction Cloud accounts. It lets you manage your data in your account while sharing information to the wider project team in an automated, structured way, ensuring the most up-to-date information is always in the right hands. And it does all this without needing yet another piece of software for data storage to protect privacy or extra steps to share information. Multidiscipline firms like SSOE Group know that optimized data flows are the basis for collaboration between project stakeholders. But having key team members spend time managing files and permissions means they have less time for higher value activities. With Bridge, information sharing is now simple and standardized. And as importantly, what information is shared is in their control. Radically simplified collaboration is just the beginning with Bridge. It's the foundation of a technology platform that balances collaboration and control. Technology that's purpose-built for your data and for how this industry works. I shared earlier that making data work for you is at the heart of what we're building with Autodesk Construction Cloud. This is why we spend so much time bringing new capabilities to each product and building meaningful connections between them. Like references between issues, files, schedules, and meetings, so you don't have to search around to find out why something happened. And building deeper integrations between Autodesk Build, Revit, and Navisworks, with unified issues to keep communications in sync. And a powerfully simple set of project management capabilities for RFIs and submittals so that you can customize to meet the specific needs of your teams and your projects. All of which help to make each person on a job both contribute to and benefit from the data that ultimately improves project outcomes. Unlocking data from the hands of specialists with specialized tools. It's no wonder, as Jim highlighted, that you've more than doubled the number of collaborators per project over the last year. The more than 300 improvements we delivered are all centered on making Construction Cloud more comprehensive, connected, and intelligent. And we're delivering these in a predictable cadence every 2 months. In fact, while we're here at AU, most of our team is hard at work to deliver the next set of features coming in November. Sadly, we've not got time to go through every single new feature now, but come visit us in the expo. We'd love to show you what's next and talk to you about what you'd like to see next. That's what we love most as product managers, researchers, designers, software engineers. Listening to you to help guide and validate the decisions we make. Working together as partners to help make data work for you. Now, to share his experience of how our partnership has been instrumental in his company's transformation to a data-driven business, please join me in welcoming Brad Buckles, Director of Technology at Charles Perry Partners.
Thank you, Richard. Wow, it is a pleasure to be here to talk to you today about Charles Perry Partners, Inc., or CPPI, and our partnership with Autodesk. What would you think if I told you my firm's founder made some of the biggest business decisions with a coin flip? That's right. When the late Charles Perry founded our firm in 1968, he had a habit of carrying a gold Cougarand around in his pocket. And when he was having trouble with making important business decisions like, should we open up an office in Savannah? He'd take the coin out and he'd flip it. Heads, we're going to Savannah. And I guess that works because here we are today, a successful construction firm with offices in Florida, Georgia, and Virginia, building big institutional projects like schools, colleges, and universities. Charles had a simple way of answering simple questions, but we all know construction is a lot more complicated than it used to be. When I joined the firm 10 years ago, I became a part of a company that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, that was relying on spreadsheets and disjointed software. I remember watching the team build spreadsheets to take information out just to put into other spreadsheets. Multiple people were touching the data multiple times just to get an answer or share an update. 10 years ago, like many of you, we were still relying on drafting tables and printing out our drawings. We were building new schools with old school techniques. We were generating a lot of data, but that data wasn't allowing us to drive business decisions. And we knew if we could unlock it and share it with people who needed it, when they needed it, it would open new avenues of collaboration and innovation. It would improve the lives of the people who work for us, people who matter to us. Oh, we could not grow simply by squeezing more work out of them. We had to create efficiencies that would allow our people to spend more quality time with their families, instead of additional hours on a job site. And to do that, we needed more than technology. We needed a partnership with people who shared our beliefs, our values, and our vision. We started this journey with Autodesk and BIM 360. And we saw the value of keeping people on the same page and eliminating duplicate tasks. This journey took us a long way. But as our company grew, so did our needs. Our projects were getting bigger and bigger. We needed leaner construction management. When we heard about Autodesk Build, it looked like we could take us to that next level. So I reached out to Stacy Weber, who is our customer success manager. Let me tell you, she has unlimited energy. Sometimes I have to tell her to take some time off. We asked her for help because we knew we needed more resources. She asked us what we needed, and here's the key. She really listened. We talked about needing construction workflows across cost management, project management, and the field. Integrations between our cost management system and our accounting system, and connected data to drive fully automated processes. In short, we needed a way to touch data just once. I shared our business goals with Stacy, and it was clear that she cared that we invested in technology that truly met our needs of our project and our people. We quickly decided to adopt Autodesk Build and invested the resources to make this transition as smooth as possible. We brought together a team to develop a plan to ease us through this challenge. And while change, that's never easy, we maintained focus, and Autodesk kept us on pace. To realize our business objectives, we needed more than just our cost management system and accounting system talking. Our relationship with Autodesk grew. Stacy made connections between my team and the Autodesk product development team, and they in turn made valuable connections to their technology partners like Morpheus Technology Group. Together, we built the integration between our Autodesk Build and our ERP system. Today, that allows us to manage cost activities in the same environment as our project and field management tasks. So we are truly touching data just once. The integration, well, it took connected data workflows, reduced data loss, and gave stakeholders more access to critical information. And get this, Autodesk held question and answer sessions with our employees, explaining our vision for the software and laying out the product roadmap. Once we had the system set up, it was time to train our folks on how to use it. Now, you guys know this. You cannot shut down a construction site and ask everyone on it to sit through a full day software training. That is never going to happen. They made it easy to train our employees using online Autodesk Construction Cloud Learning Center. Our folks can now easily navigate through learning modules to find a 5-minute segment that answers their exact questions. They can learn the software, stay up to date with advancements, and gain their certification at their own pace. We enjoy meeting with Stacy regularly, and she shares with us each person's learning progress so that we can keep a close eye on training gaps. As a result of tracking, all of our project managers completed the entire cost management training, all of them. In fact, we quadrupled the number of our people actively using Build. They are more comfortable using it, they know how to use it, and now we're seeing the results. Now we can track the actual costs that we've paid out to our subcontractors and see that money flow back into Autodesk Build. No more waiting for a report from accounting. Our teams are making faster and more detailed decisions. We've got fewer people updating project data across systems. We've reduced the risk of human error because we're finally touching data just once. Our accounting team can now focus on higher level accounting activity. And our field team, well, our field team can now make more informed decisions with access to real-time financial data. We've gone from manual processes to fully automated processes for contracts, for change orders, you name it. We're protecting our clients and our profit margin by avoiding cost overruns with accurate, up-to-date data. What's more is we're able to see everything in near real time, thanks to dashboards. We can track project spending, project progress, the time it takes to close an issue, and more at a glance. This sets us up to look ahead and make smart strategic plans for our future. And Autodesk was with us at every step, supporting us through the changes because we're always evolving, and so is Autodesk. Our experience with data has changed. We're no longer working hard to just manage data. Data is now working for us to inform and drive important decisions for our business. And that lets us save the magic of the coin toss for decisions that we really care about. Like whether we're gonna have red wine, our founder's favorite, or bourbon. That's my favorite. Let's see which one. Haha, bourbon it is. Thank you very much, everyone.
Please welcome Director of Customer Experience and Industry Advocacy, Allison Scott.
Listening to Stephanie and Andy from Messer earlier and Brad just now, what stands out to me is the focus they have on their people to make the lives of everyone they work with better. But what does this mean to make lives better? Brad told us what it means for CPPI. They need all of their software working together. They need to get more out of their data. And they need tedious work automated, all to improve the way their people work. This is how they're growing the business while also getting teams home in time for dinner. It's CPPI's vision, and it's our job as their partner to offer resources and a roadmap to help achieve it. I know this is the formula for a successful partnership because I've been where you are. I've sat in the audience at AU as an Autodesk customer, stressing about how to link the technology back to my firm's real-world challenges. And while we could have tackled this alone, we knew that we were better off with a partner by our side, someone who helped to plot a map to success and put us in the driver's seat, giving us the resources and control to customize the journey along the way. Now, it's my job and that of our entire customer success organization to help get you what you need out of our technology. Whether you are a small, family-run contractor modernizing your field operations, or a global construction manager scaling standards across multiple languages and contract methods. For the last few years, we've been doing this together on the phone and on Zoom, but let me tell you, it is a thrill to be back in the field with you again. And this year alone, we went to over 400 job sites, staying close to everyday project realities. We heard your teams need help learning the tools. You need processes streamlined so that your teams are up and running faster. One superintendent even told us that she wants to do pre-task planning entirely from a mobile device to make it easy for the team while keeping her people safe. Making these tools work for you is our passion because the risks you're managing every day are palpable and personal. You heard Jim and Richard talk about your platform, your data, and having control over how you use it. Our partnership is built for you too. Now, how you choose to partner with us is up to you, but you can't access what you don't know about. My family is lucky to have a small cabin in Maine. It's our happy place, but much to my son's annoyance, we don't have internet. So we rely on board games or good old DVDs to entertain ourselves. But I can only watch Encanto so many times, we don't talk about Bruno anymore. Do you know what I mean? But this summer, I rediscovered our local library. And of course, I knew that I could get books at the library, but I learned from a neighbor that I could also check out movies, games, tools, and even small appliances. I walked out of there with the Wreck-It Ralph 2 and a stud finder. I had no idea all of this was available to me. I just had to have someone tell me it was an option. At Autodesk, customer success is that library for you. We have expansive resources for you to discover, or in some cases, rediscover, whether you're just getting started or taking your teams to the next level. And now is the time to take advantage of every opportunity. You're betting on transforming your business with us, but the burden of success is not yours alone to bear. Our partnership is about achieving your goals together. Here are some of the ways that we do that. We create the connections that enable knowledge sharing between you and your peers. We facilitate the conversations that help us evolve our partnership and product with you in mind. And lastly, we give your teams more control over the way they work, with resources and services that meet you where you are. A partnership starts with a great experience that creates connections and brings people together. Construction is not just an industry, it's a community. And we are fostering these connections, creating space for you to find like minds, test something new, and get advice in your career. That's why we've built a virtual big room, an online community that connects builders from all over the globe to trade tips and share best practices. We see members sharing ways to respond to new standards and even getting advice for their next career move. It's a community open to everyone, so come join the conversation. And in addition to our online community, you can also join one of our virtual and in-person meetups. It's been wonderful to see what comes from these conversations. In fact, just a few weeks ago, an assistant project manager was venting that he couldn't get traction from his superiors on a new quality workflow. And his breakthrough happened when a PM from a different company walked through how to improve the business case and what questions to answer for his manager that may improve their buy-in. Even small moments like this drive innovation, and we want to enable these interactions because collaboration is the reason that transformation is even possible. And we learn so much from you in these spaces. But we also value direct conversations with you. An important part of partnership is gaining feedback about what's working and what could be better. You heard Richard share all of the updates and new features that we're delivering. That product roadmap was informed by you. When you share your needs, we respond and we get better. Take, for instance, the ability to view schedule version changes right in Autodesk Build, one of the top requests during our beta. And knowing how important this was, we conducted additional research with customers. Customers like T-Roll Kliniken, a healthcare provider in Europe. They gave feedback during the beta session that was reflected in the latest updates for Build. Now, they can more accurately compare, manage, and react to schedule changes and protect the critical path, allowing them to get better results for their patients. When we've listened to you, incorporated your feedback, and built trust, we can help drive improvements for your teams. We built Autodesk Construction Cloud for you, but we know that's only one part of our job. As your partner, we have to help you make the most of using it too. And that starts with putting you in control of how to learn and implement the tools. We offer self-guided and customizable options to create the right mix for you. starting with learning tools open to everyone. As you heard from Brad, companies such as CPPI and many others are using Autodesk Construction Cloud Learning Center to expand knowledge across teams. With over 55,000 course enrollments, accessing over 400 videos in 5 languages. And if you need more, you can tap an Autodesk adoption specialist or one of our hundreds of certified channel partners across the globe to train your teams, configure your workflows, create standards, and make your people successful. The right training makes your teams not just competent, but confident. But we know it's not enough to just learn about Autodesk Construction Cloud. You have to make it work for you and connect it to other tools. You can accomplish this by working directly with us or do it yourself with ACC Connect. This no-code environment makes it easy to lay out integrations like a flowchart, routing data and documents between Autodesk Construction Cloud and hundreds of pre-built connectors to things that you use every day: file sharing, expenses, time tracking, and more. When your technology is no longer siloed, the data you collect becomes more valuable, especially when you can draw actionable insights from it. Aptum developed a data strategy that would give them better visibility across all of their projects, but they needed help connecting all the technology in one place. As their partner, we helped them implement that strategy through our data connector, pulling all project information from multiple tools and organizing it into a visual snapshot. Now everyone at Aptum, from the managers to those in the field, are empowered with the right information to do their job. Every Autodesk Construction Cloud user has access to connections and dashboards that automatically aggregates data in a way that's personalized and meaningful for you, whether you are on one project or many. But if you have more specific needs, you can take those insights even further with our customer success team. Together, we can help you create custom data visualizations that deliver the right insights to the right people and find problems before they start. So your teams spend less time recovering from what went wrong and more time getting ahead of the next challenge. The path to success looks different for all of you. Just like we've made our tools flexible to meet your needs, customer success offers a variety of ways to support you. This industry is transforming. You are in the driver's seat, and we're your GPS to help you get to your destination. We're building the connections, nurturing the conversations, and putting you in control of your journey. Maybe you need to prioritize higher client satisfaction or lower employee turnover, a smaller carbon footprint, or a bigger bottom line. Or maybe you start with getting your teams home in time for dinner. However you define success, we're your partner in achieving it. And we can't wait to see what you do. Thank you.
I think a construction company that's ready for the future is one who's already looking for the best products and the next step in technology.
The opportunities I see for technology in the future to help us is really helping us remove our workers from harm's way.
We're going to find ways to reduce waste, be more efficient. Technology is going to be the driving force to make that happen.
My vision for a construction-ready company for the future is a company that is technology forward, obviously, but also people forward.
I think it's important to understand that in the forefront, we are always going to be builders, but how do we choose those different levels of technology to be part of our teams?
You get to see a smile when somebody understands that this tool is making their life better. You get to see that smile. That is why I enjoy what I do.
Please welcome back Jim Lynch.
It's been more than 4 years since Autodesk doubled down on construction, helping teams make each job more predictable, safer, and sustainable, and helping the industry realize truly connected construction. Now, over the years, we worked closely with you to understand how teams use technology to enable your business. We spent time learning your workflows. We heard your asks, and we listened to your critiques. By building strong partnerships, we've continued to improve our products and identify the most essential connection points between them. Every day, these products become stronger. Our integrations become deeper and more meaningful. With Autodesk Construction Cloud, you're experiencing what best-in-class pre-construction planning is all about and construction management. With each step forward, the value to your business increases so that you can automate more workflows, work more efficiently, generate deeper insights, giving you and your teams access to accurate information when you need it. All that's so that you can build better, faster, and safer. Technology that represents your business, your data, your platform. Let's build the future together. Thank you.